In its first week, Victoria's Anti-Corruption Commission has already heard damaging allegations over the misuse of public funds.
I thought the party was completely out of control. We chose repeatedly to do the wrong thing again and again and again and again.
I think everyone was doing it.
The inquiry is holding public hearings to investigate branch stacking within the Victorian arm of the Labor Party. While branch stacking is in breach of Labor Party rules, it's not illegal and does not in itself amount to corrupt conduct.
Branch stacking has obviously been very widespread in the affairs of both parties, but this is particularly an investigation of branch stacking in the Labor Party, and there's no question that it's been very widespread here.
So far, the anti-corruption watchdog has heard allegations of ghost staffers being paid and employed without showing up to work.
So you employed him 4 months, he was paid 4 months?
Yes.
And he never once turned up to your office?
No.
Who actually paid his salary?
That would be me as the employer, or the Commonwealth, the taxpayer.
The Commission is exploring whether corrupt conduct took place by MPs directing staff to perform political work while on the public purse. Former Judge Stephen Charles says the current hearings are the first time the anti-corruption watchdog has delved into the inner workings of political parties.
So far, the investigations made by IBAC in Victoria have related particularly to activities either senior public service figures or in municipal areas. IBAC has no power to convict people. It cannot make findings of guilt of criminal offences.
Maybe we do just have a big stack of them.
The corruption probe was prompted by media allegations of branch stacking in 2020 involving former Labor Minister Adam Somyurek, among others. Mr Somyurek denies any wrongdoing and has not been charged with any criminal offences. One former staffer, Adam Sullivan, told the hearings he misappropriated funds by spending thousands on postage stamps that were then used to send campaign material to constituents of another Labor MP.
It was suggested that the purchase of these stamps take place in increments, nothing that would be conspicuous. We purchased around $11,000 to $14,000 worth of $1 stamps.
Another witness, Labor staffer Ellen Schreiber, said up to 80% of her days was spent doing factional work while being paid by the taxpayer.
When the branch stacking, I guess, has ramped up, the workload, it was almost like 80% of my day was going through memberships at times, but that was not every day. It was just at times. That's all we'd be doing.
Yesterday, Rick Garotti, Mayor of Banyule City Council, told the inquiry he was involved in branch stacking, spending at least $15,000 of his own money on other people's party memberships.
It's been my understanding that's been part of the culture of the Labor Party and the factions in my time as a member. I think it extends to all factions.
It's an enormous privilege to be elected to this role.
The Mayor also told the inquiry he successfully lobbied for a $100,000 grant for the Somali Australian Council of Victoria. He said the money was a reward for its president, Dr Hussein Harako, for doing factional work for the party.
I didn't know what it was for or what they were meant to do with it.
So you lobbied for a grant with no idea what it was for, what they were meant to do with it, only knowing that they were a factional ally.
Not the only reason, but yeah.
Evidence like this about the use of community grants is where IBAC's focus turned this week. Hearings have now been adjourned until November. Unlike the corruption inquiry across the border in New South Wales, there's been no suggestion yet that Victoria's Premier himself will have to front this inquiry.
This inquiry is significant because it's investigating branch stacking and how important that is. Branch stacking is important because it will distort the types of candidates who are elected in relation to all parties.
The inquiry claimed its first scalp on day one, when Victoria's Minister for Disability, Ageing and Carers Luke Donnellan resigned from Cabinet, while maintaining he had not misused taxpayer dollars. Federal Labor MP Anthony Byrne also quit his role on Parliament's Intelligence and Security Committee after making these statements to the inquiry.
You did pay for other people's memberships?
Yes, I did.
The inquiry is expected to continue through November as it investigates what systems and controls are in place to ensure public money is being spent where it's supposed to.
It's very difficult to predict the outcome of any inquiry, but in this case in particular, the extent to which it's improper, whether it becomes illegal. There is a grey area here.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.